I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear the faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Amendment 1, United States Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people to peacefully assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. Moscow, Idaho, guys. City Hall protest, September 26th, starting at noon. This entire video is in response to a bunch of people, Christians, white, protesting at the City Hall, singing hymns in a group, and being arrested for doing so. It looks to be about 5 officers that responded and perpetrated these crimes. The arresting officers that are seen in the video that we are able to identify so far are Officer Krassel, sounds German, and Officer Thewson. So I'm not sure if these 2 officers, I'm assuming this entire department has never heard this oath of office that I just read you guys. I'm just going to assume that they don't do it there. Because they're all in violation of it. No city ordinance trumps the Constitution. And unfortunately, I guess we found us a batch of bad apples, guys. I know a few of you guys are pretty big on the a few bad apples narrative. It seems we have about 5 that showed up to one event. And the other officers will be identified. We'll get their names. We'll get their addresses. We'll get all their information and put it out to you guys. They need to be held responsible. They need to be held accountable by the public. These are their neighbors that they've committed these crimes against. And they should feel very uncomfortable in their own towns. Chief of Police, James Fry. Mayor, Bill Lambert. These are the men responsible for the behavior of these officers. They are absolutely responsible for the accountability of the behavior of these officers. So I'm asking you guys 2 things in this video. 1, show up if you can. They want to arrest people for standing within 6 feet of each other. We will put hundreds of people into their city and we will protest it. 2, and this is the big one, guys, because the majority of you that are watching from a distance, you guys can do this from the comfort of your home. We gave you guys those numbers. Use those numbers. You call and tell them exactly what you think. Guys, I will stick links to these videos. You can watch what took place. You can watch these criminals get arrested. And you can watch the looks on these officers' faces while these people are pleading with them to do the right thing. And the one guy makes a comment that, 1, they didn't do anything when BLM was protesting in their city. 2, they're the ones who supported the police and came out against BLM and said that we're not interested in defunding you guys. We support you. The police are making enemies out of the only people that align with them. Losing friends quick. If you start to feel surrounded, it's because you earned it. So call them, guys. Continue to call them. Don't stop calling them. They will quit answering their phones for a small period of time, but they will have to answer those phones to operate. So do not let up. continue to call them until it gets resolved, until we see that these officers are held accountable. They absolutely should be fired. They should resign in embarrassment, honestly. But we're not going to stand for this in Idaho. Absolutely not. We see this stuff taking place throughout the rest of the country, these cesspools, which they're allowing this to happen, and then a bunch of order-following bootlickers that just do the bidding without questioning the moral of it at all. If it's starting to look a lot like Nazi Germany, guys, it's because it's the exact same thing. You have the law enforcement just doing whatever the chief of police okays because he's catering to the mayor. And unfortunately, guys, I know many of you do not want the reality, your reality popped, your bubble bursts. And many of you think that law enforcement in general is on our side, that they are your allies. They're not. They're absolutely not. You can watch this video and all of the other videos of these people negatively affecting their neighbors, violating their oath of office due to a city ordinance that tells people they can't be near each other if they have to wear a mask. Guys, this entire charade is perpetrated by Governor Brad Little. This entire thing is because of him, top down, because this guy is committing the largest case of fraud ever seen in the entire United States. These governors are creating this claim, this fraudulent claim, so that they can get millions of dollars in federal tax money. The taxes we pay, taxes that our kids will have to pay, and they're doing it to cash out on paychecks. It's a complete fraud. It is 100% fraud. There is no pandemic. There has not been a pandemic for an entire calendar year. This is purely political, and this is pure corruption. The governor of Idaho is committing fraud so that he can collect millions and millions of dollars in federal emergency aid. It's fraud. Now, this has trickled down into oppression of our neighbors. We've been watching it in other states. We've been seeing it at a distance, but now this hits pretty close to home, guys. This town is about an hour, 2 hours away from us. This is a small little Idaho town. Unfortunately, it is a little college town. This is what we're seeing inside these little towns. We're watching these governors, these mayors, allow BLM and Antifa to protest and riot, and we're arresting Christians for singing. Peaceful protesters exercising their right to assembly. Their constitutional rights have been violated by these officers, knowingly by these officers, and they don't care because all they care about is a paycheck. Guys, you can hate on me all you want for giving you that little piece of fact, but here's the thing. Law enforcement today is about collecting a paycheck for their self, and I'll prove it to you. Bad apples, if that's the narrative you want to go with, it's just a few bad apples doing this, then we will sit around and wait for the good apples to stand up and speak out. I'll sit here and wait with you guys. Let me know how long you want to wait for. But I can tell you this, September 26th at noon, the people are showing up in Moscow to let them know that it's not acceptable and it's not going to happen. But I'm with you guys, though. I will sit with you. I will allow you to change my mind and convince me that this is a problem with just a few bad apples. Because some of you still got your head in the sand. And unfortunately, these might be your neighbors. This might be your dad. If Crassel and Thewson are your dad, you should be embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed. These guys are bootlicking scumbags. And honestly, they deserve to be arrested, and they don't deserve to wear a badge in any state whatsoever, because the truth of the matter is, and it's not just these two, there was about 4 other officers on top of these clowns that were there. Bootlickers, paycheck collectors, these guys are followers. They are the weakest of the weak. People look at law enforcement to be leaders in the community. These people are not leaders. They are followers. They are protecting themselves by enforcing the will of the mayor. The police chief is a coward as well. They're all cowards, top to bottom. Prove me wrong. I dare you. You want to tell me they're a good person? Fine, might be a good person. Are they a good police officer? Absolutely not. They're garbage. Absolutely garbage. They are unwilling to stand up for your rights and your civil liberties. They are violating your civil liberties, and we used to hang people for that.